Good morning, I'm Sheila Cast. We're on the record. The Baltimore Rock Opera Society, or BROS, aims to correct a historic narrative with its latest production, Rock Opera 101. It's a trilogy, and the first installment is called American Music, which promises to address, quote, the theft and erasure of Black culture, particularly in rock music, close quote. Joining us to talk about it is Jonathan Gilmore, the show's director, creator, and lead performer. Welcome, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Petula Caesar produced the show and is director of community engagement for BROS. She's also an author, poet, and storyteller. Welcome back to On the Record, Petula.
It's very good to talk to you again, Sheila.
So, Petula, tell us about BROS. Who is involved? What kind of shows do you produce?
Okay, the Baltimore Rock Opera Society has been around for a little bit over a decade in the city of Baltimore. They started out as a group of folks who wanted to produce amazing rock operas and rock musical theater and to rule for the next 7,000 years. So that is how they build themselves, and that is one of their goals as an organization. So over the past decade, they have done that. They produce all original content, original characters, storylines, music, and all of that. And they produce these shows throughout Baltimore at different locations. And they brought me on in November to help them with the community engagement aspect of the work they were already doing with live performance and live musical theater in Baltimore.
And the recent show, Rock Opera 101, how did the idea for that come about?
Well, I came on board in my role in November, and I met with the executive director, Aaron Keating, and the other staff people at BROS, and they were all white. So I started my work by pointing that out, and then we began a pretty frank conversation about BROS being a very white organization as an institution and how that would impact the work that I was going to do. Because BROS is known for the over-the-top shows that they do, my suggestion was to continue that tradition of doing great shows by having some great shows around the idea of bringing in other folks who right now really don't partake of BROS programming. Right now, BROS doesn't look so much like the population of the city that it lives in. BROS is not a reflection of Baltimore's demographic. So I decided that a good way to change that would be to have some shows that specifically looked at the history of rock opera, the history of rock and roll, and how we got to a place where other folks don't necessarily feel like there is something in rock opera or rock musical theater for them. And that's how the idea for these shows came about.